My name is Mitch Fuller, and I'm the Veteran Services Coordinator for Bluebonnet Trails, MHMR, in a consultant basis. And so one of my tasks in that position is to implement the peer-to-peer support program. I am a veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom. I served there from January to December 2005. When you're in a military convoy or in a military vehicle in Iraq, you own the road. But it's nerve-wracking to be stuck in traffic in Baghdad. And this was early summer 2005, and this is about the time that the enemy was really beginning to perfect, IED capability. At checkpoint 19, near a place called Iskandariya, which is just south of Baghdad, the TC, he said, "Sir, this is a word. Sergeant Folks was killed last night." As soon as he said those words, there was an explosion, and an IED exploded literally right outside my door.
We were given orders to go out to a location where we believed that there was a Ba'athist Party member who followed Saddam Hussein at that time. The goal was to detain him, but it was kind of a capture or kill scenario. And we were the forward element that went into this home. I noticed that there were all sorts of people already on top of their roofs looking at the house that we were in. I thought my heart was going to beat out of my chest to feel like you were being watched, and you didn't know who was watching you. Your main mission is to do one thing, and that's to kill.
My first deployment, we were just outside of Baghdad during the initial push into Baghdad. Our sister unit was the unit that actually caught Saddam. I was hit by an IED in Iraq, and it was definitely a life-changing experience. There were times where we'd be socializing with the people, and then there would be times where mortars were blowing up around us and, bullets whizzing by our heads. I've done it a couple of times since I've been back, where I'll be driving down the road and I'll see a piece of trash or a box on the side of the road. I've shot across traffic because, I would have a flashback. And it's a really scary thing, not having any kind of weapons on you anymore. You hear a pop or something that sounds like gunfire or an explosion or anything like that, and I had a thigh rig, and that's the first thing I go for.
Readjusting into the civilian life is the most difficult thing for a veteran to do because their whole world is tipped upside down. It took me 4 years before I got a first job because I didn't even know if I could work again. I couldn't even be around other people. Just being in my home is difficult. I'm on constant alert because there's no one else out there protecting me like there was when I was there.
It felt like I had a huge rock weighing me down. It's almost like I had a big secret that I couldn't tell anybody. They trained you up to a year's worth of training you how to, kill, how to survive. My biggest problem when I got back was they put us through 16 hours of trying to get you resituated in civilian life or in life itself. It wasn't enough time.
It doesn't help when you're sent away to a war and they've been married a few years and you come back and people learn to live without you. They move on, and when you come back, you're not part of the family anymore. And so you just left a war and you come back and you have to learn to live in a different crisis.
It takes a long time to get over that. I don't know if that's something that a veteran who's been through that will really ever get over, but it really is difficult. I like to think of it as a bunch of water behind a dam. Being in combat, you build that dam so strong and so thick that no water can get through. No emotions can come through that wall unless you lift the lever, When you come back into civilian life, that thing is overrun with water and it overflows. It actually drowns you out at times. You feel like you don't know how to retain that amount of pressure that's on you to be normal. You're now abnormal. You're the one that sticks out.
I can tell you unequivocally that going through the training with fellow veterans helped me understand some things that I confronted when I got home 4 years ago. And veterans, we understand each other. There's a camaraderie. There's an esprit de corps. We speak the same language. We understand each other. There's an immediate, instant bond when we sit together because we understand and respect each other.
When I got out of the Army, I went to the VA and I was talking to counselors. Every counselor that I got was a civilian. And they say, you know, okay, yeah, I understand. When, you know, you don't. You know, you've never had to shoot somebody, you've never been blown up, you have no idea what I've been through, you don't understand.
It's absolutely necessary to have somebody military or connection, because these people will not open up because of their staunch training. They will not open up. They're heroes, and that's what they have in their head. And heroes don't cry out and don't ask for help. But the minute they did get the connection with someone military, they did open up.
We're not counselors, we're friends, you know, we're comrades. We've been through the same stuff. It's a brotherhood, and it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be World War II and still relate with a 19-year-old OEF veteran.
You're around other brothers and sisters who served in the military that want to come together, at least try, and speak about their experiences to one another, because they don't trust anybody else. They can't. It's too personal. They've got to have an outlet. You will never get better until you decide to face your demon. It will continue to haunt you for the rest of your life. You can't do it all at once, and you can't not do it. You have to do it a little bit at a time.
I think all veterans would say there's some level of adjustment when you get back. And this peer-to-peer support group, while designed to target Iraq and Afghanistan, you know, post 9/11 global war on terrorism veterans, it's going to get other veterans as well. It's not just limited to that. It's going to help Vietnam veterans decompress and wind down and get back into the rhythm of, you know, normal civilian.